FDH Aero, speaking of deals, has signed a new multi-year contract with China's AVIC-XAIC to support the COMAC C919 passenger jet, which is really designed to compete with the Boeing 737 and Airbus A320 that dominate the market right now. This deal is really strengthening their role in the supply chain, offering new product lines, just-in-time delivery services, managed by on-site personnel, right? The C919 itself has already received over 1,000 orders, which is huge, gives China a real competitive edge in the market.
I mean, we're looking at, 1,000 orders is a lot. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about FDH's role here in the supply chain. And when we look at the supply chain, I think it's important to remember planes are generally made from a variety of different suppliers who all have their own supply chains they're working with. And then they've got to supply the parts that get assembled on the plane. We know that you mentioned AVIC-XAIC was one of the major sub-tier supply companies that does the work of the wing assembly and the mid-fuselage for the C-19. We've got multiple companies that are sending parts that have to be assembled in the final parts of the aircraft. So one thing that all these companies really have to consider is their IP, the data that they're sending, because you have to know, how am I going to take these parts and assemble them with other parts that they have to connect to and work with, but without necessarily giving away all the IP inside of any like proprietary stuff that I've made, in engine work and any sort of these operations. And so there's that to look at. So sending those boundary representation models, removing the IP, in addition, making sure it meets all of the necessary requirements for flight. I mean, weight's a huge one for anything that goes in the air. Mm-hmm. And so all of this has to be taken into consideration when you're looking at those factors of, if I want to build a plane or a wing even, and I'm using parts from different suppliers, how do those fit together? Do they all integrate together? Because I might have one option of a configuration that does not interact with other options that I might put from other suppliers. So trying to simplify the supply chain is something that's needed, and it can save lots of money, but it's a lot more difficult than folks often think.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on this one. I think what ultimately, I'm going to go back to kind of good old Elon's saying, which is manufacturing is 1,000 times harder than design and engineering. Absolutely. I think the Chinese are pretty good at manufacturing, so to speak. They throw a lot of bodies at it, and they've got a lot of good systems out there. But I think what's interesting now in the airline side of things, the aerospace side of things, is that supply chain piece. Yeah, once they've got it into the factory, they can manufacture at scale. They're pretty good at that. But it's that supply chain integration. It's that data sharing, to your point. But I think it's actually data synchronization, real-time synchronization between all of the moving parts in the supply chain. So I kind of agree. But the critical issue here is not just that data accuracy, it's the ability to manage the complexity of the supply chain in real time, ensuring that the parts from the different suppliers arrive on schedule and fit the precise requirements of the final assembly. So what do? AI.
Definitely not AI. Oh, he said it.
No, it is. End-to-end supply chain management, absolutely. Just-in-time principles overlaying on your supply chain into your MES/MOM, continuous traceability of parts and their specs, but bringing an AI-powered supply chain optimizer for me is going to be the big thing. So tracking, reading, if parts are coming in out of sync, the ability to adjust to another supplier or to adjust to an aircraft is going to be key to this. So the real conductor is an AI supply chain optimizer as a solution for this. And we love that stuff.
No, I figured it out, Greg. The reason why Andrew likes AI so much is because for the previous, until maybe 5 years ago, when he used the word AI, it just meant Andrew intelligence.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I wish.
That was AI 1.0.
Minus 1.0. Yeah.
I mean, if Apple can can put Apple into AI, I guess Andrew can put Andrew into AI.
It's
right?
true. It's true.
Good point. Yeah.
I'll take Andrew over Apple any day.
I don't think anybody's buying that. There you go.
That's right. That's right.